Hey everybody, welcome to our species spotlight on Pseudotropheus acei. This interesting mbuna is endemic to Lake Malawi. It is found along the lake's western coastline amongst various different locations, bays, river outlets, and so forth. The typical habitat that this fish inhabits are rocky shorelines, as well as some sandy areas and areas that do not have much structure as well. Now we're going to get into a little bit about the behavior, color, size, aquarium size, and other details about the Pseudotropheus acei. As far as mbuna are concerned, this particular species will be considered one that is not as aggressive. It's definitely on the milder side. It should be kept with other species of Pseudotropheus, melanchromis, and so forth, Labiatropheus, species that are also more on the milder side. It's best kept in good-sized groups. This tends to distribute the chasing and aggression towards any one particular fish. That rule should still be followed for this fish, of course. The coloration of this species is very attractive. It's got a beautiful blue body color pattern. The males will have some vertical barring, depends on the activity level and what activity they're up to. The females are also blue. They typically have, or they do have, yellow fins. There is a variant that has a white finnage, but is definitely not as common a variety. Now, given the territorial nature of mbuna in particular, a lot of people sometimes ask that, can we put them with other community fish? Are they suitable for other community situations? And our opinion is definitely no, they aren't. They should be kept with other species of their own genus or similar genuses that occur in the lake with them. I would say in particular, the one species that could easily be mixed with them in a community type setting would be Synodontis petricola or multipunctatus. Those catfish obviously are good choices coming from similar environments, and they are a good choice for them in terms of how they reproduce and overall make for a very interesting addition to a Malawi community tank. The typical size range of Pseudotropheus acei is about 4 to 5 inches or 10 to 12.5 centimeters. Males do definitely tend to get somewhat larger. As far as determining the the difference between a male and a female, giving the similarity in coloration, you would look for a fish that's a little bit more larger and judge it basically on its activity and territorial behavior. It seeks males will seek out an area to defend their own territory within. Their egg spots are also larger on their anal fin. The typical type of tank setup for keeping this species should definitely be a well rocked out setup, especially if you're keeping it with other species of Pseudotropheus or melanchromis and so forth. The lighting should be from mid to brighter light levels. This will encourage some algae growth. Being an mbuna, they like to graze on rock surfaces and so forth, so that's a better way to go. Although it is equally possible to keep them in a less heavily rocked out type tank with a lot of sandy areas and a good sized population of other species. They will do well in tanks like that as well, although our preference is really like the one you see here with a good amount of rock structure, given that it allows them to graze on naturally growing algae in a more natural way. The typical size of aquarium when keeping Pseudotropheus acei is really 75 to 100 US gallons or 300 to 400 liters if you're keeping it in a larger community type setup. Having a smaller group of adults, a breeding group with maybe one other species of fish, definitely allows you to go with an aquarium down to about 50 gallons in size. But that really depends, of course, on the number of fish you're keeping and the particular species you might be mixing in with them as well. When considering the water conditions for Pseudotropheus acei, the temperature range should be somewhere between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit. or 24 to 28 degrees Celsius. The pH range should be between 7.5, 7.6 to 8.2, and the degrees of hardness should be somewhere between about 10 and 20. You would want to maintain decent water movement, strong filtration, and a good oxygen level. So oxygenating it is important for them as well. Now, when it comes to feeding the Pseudotropheus acei, being an mbuna, it's definitely more of a herbivorous type of fish. Although, as it grazes on algae in the wild, it is consuming various microorganisms and so forth, small shrimp and so forth. These things do get eaten as well, and they are relished in the aquarium as well. So a good diet of something like bug bites, dry foods is an excellent option given the insect protein value. Selecting a good vegetable flake to ensure that they're getting what they require in terms of vegetable matter on a daily basis is a great choice, as well as algae discs or crisps is also highly recommended for these fish as they get to graze on it, and the algae content, of course, is extremely important for them. They are not a difficult fish to feed. They are relatively not picky at all, like just about all other mbuna. So there won't be any problems there, but make sure to get the right mix. A lot of vegetable-based foods and some treating with perhaps frozen brine shrimp should fit the bill. In summary, we'd like to say that we are great fans of this species of Pseudotropheus. The acei has a milder disposition, which makes it really a nice addition to an assortment of mbuna that are not as aggressive. The coloration is excellent. It's very similar between male and female, so you're getting more for your buck there. With the appearance of the fish, it definitely, you have more colorful specimens that way, of course. There's a typical activity level with this fish that would be experienced in mbuna type community tank. So we're big fans of it, and we think that they're a great way for people, anybody thinking of getting into keeping an mbuna community tank. It's definitely a species that you want to consider keeping. Thanks a lot for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.